Hello and welcome everyone into another Amplitude Studio stream. Thank you all for being here today. You're actually framed quite well. I think I need to get a little
Well,
closer.
I think
closer
maybe
to you.
I can scoot it a little bit.
Well,
no, I actually can't
no,
because the chair leg is in the way.
I think you're good. But anyways, welcome in everyone. How are you doing? Navarro Bursk, Red, Mini Leper, Sublustrous. Hello, hello, hello. Here I was thinking, you know, purple, humankind. You got a purple shirt on. This would be perfect. But
I'm trying to blend into the background.
I mean, it's different. It's different.
It's less obvious now, but you know, when I came in this morning, my lips were purple as well, but it's kind of rubbed off by now.
Yeah.
And here I was trying to be on brand, but the quality is not good enough.
But no, now we're going over to yellow. This will be.
Yeah, on screen it looks more yellow than when you look at the light.
If I do actual yellow, it won't actually show up as yellow. So
yeah, it's because of this damn orange wall behind us.
Yeah, it's so there you go. We got the thumbs of approval. Excellent. Well, welcome in. Unfortunately, this is our last stream of, well, this week, but also our last stream up until next Friday. So I'm going to be heading out on vacation next week. Wish me luck. And so I'm going to be leaving you all alone without streams Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But Stephanie and Sergio will be doing a charity stream on Friday.
Yes.
With some more humankind, I believe. You want to tell us what you have planned for that, or?
Well, I don't think we've actually decided on a specific time yet, because we had some discussions and some disagreements about when the best time to stream would be, because you know, time zones are hell for getting
time zones suck a little bit. Yeah, this is true.
Because you know it's like when do we have the best chance to get the most viewers, and especially the most charitable viewers? No idea, because we don't usually stream on Friday, so we don't have any data on what the best time is.
I mean,
but we'll make sure that obviously not you, but the rest of the socials team tweets about it.
We'll make sure the word gets out so you don't miss it.
And if we remember, we'll also put like an event on our Discord and stuff like that.
Sounds good. I like it. All right. Well, today we're going to be popping back into some humankind. Since we basically aced the scenario last week.
I'm not sure. We can still see on screen. I mean, chat can't see. Turn 94. Yeah. I think the fastest win in the submissions.
Here we go.
Was turn 39 or something.
Turn 39 schmurdy-9. 94 is the new 39. Haven't you heard?
Just switch the numbers and they're only one turn faster than we are.
Exactly. But anyways, yeah, so we're gonna pop into a new game of humankind here. We're gonna set up a little bit of a different scenario. The scenario I have for today is kind of a new world scenario, preferably where we can do some sort of a race to the new world type thing, because I think that sounds fun. And then it also kind of leaves you open to do what you want to do next week. You know, if you want to pick up on the game, we'll see how it goes.
Oh, you know, maybe there's something we could try that I have prepared for next week.
Secrets? Are we talking about? Are we telling people what's coming next week?
Well, of course, you know they know that the submission for the last scenario ends soon. Okay. So obviously the next scenario is coming soon. And I did finish.
And this is a scenario that you've made.
Yes, and I did finish the save for that like 20 minutes ago.
Okay.
Like that. But
hot off the press.
And I actually considered if we should just be cheeky and be like, oh, here's a sneak peek at next week. But then I figured, I'd rather first give it to our VIPs so they can take a look.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Because I've had times before where I made a mistake and didn't turn something off in the dev tools and was like, oh, it's a cool scenario, but all my units have unlimited movement.
I see.
That would be, you know, a bit embarrassing on stream.
Yeah. Lauber, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Is it doing that like where like the voice is kind of cutting in and out type thing, or was I just turning my face too much and I didn't get picked up by the mic? Because currently you can't really tell too much, but I'm actually about a foot behind Stephanie so that we can both be on screen, but like we're like kind of
You're saying you just have more screen presence, so you need to be further back.
I just have a big head, I think. I think that's the issue. No, but let us know if that helped. I turned the gain up on our mic a little bit, so.
So anyway, you were saying, you want to race for the new world. I guess then
It's doing that thing. I get frustrated sometimes because people come in
and mess with the settings.
Mess with the settings.
And speaking of messing with the settings, in the meantime, I guess I will look at this and I guess if you want to race for the new world, we should set it to 2 continents so that everybody starts on the same continent, and then we'll have 1 new world, as little land as possible, I guess, so we actually have a lot of ocean to cross. Otherwise, it gets too easy.
Yeah. How does the microphone sound now?
Continent shape. Do you want the continent shape to be chaotic or average?
I like chaos, but that's just me.
Chaotic is fine.
We can do
spread.
Not chaotic.
I think for the spread, we actually...
No, thank you for letting me know, because it's one of those things where
we can't tell.
Literally, if I wanted to do the perfect thing every single stream, I would have to start a stream on an alternate channel, log into that channel, log in, have somebody listen to that stream while I'm talking, come back to this channel, and literally I would get nothing done because I would be preparing for the streams with most of my free time.
Yes.
And I just, I just figure if there's an audio issue, you'll tell us, and you did. So you're amazing.
That's why,
much love.
That's why many companies who, do a lot more streaming than we do have like a dedicated stream producer position who does nothing but preparing the streams.
Imagine though.
But anyway, one thing we should change, I guess, is
we care.
Continent spread.
Let's get in there.
Continent spread should be regular.
Continent spread, yes.
Because if we set it to chaotic, there's a good chance that like one of the AIs will be like, "Ooh, I can see the new world from my capital," kind of deal, because they're too close. And I think the rest is like all like middle of the road type stuff, except one thing. I think if you want race for the new world type situation, I think clustered luxuries work better, because then there's a chance that as a luxury we can only get in the new world.
I like it. Good thinking on that one.
How big should the world be?
I like small worlds because then I can sing. It's a small world.
So do we make it as crowded as possible then?
Yeah, crowded, small world. That's how I like it.
All influencer avatars, or should we put somebody else in here?
I mean, we haven't played with Jumbo that much, so
True.
that'd be fun. If we want to die, we can put Kiri in there. She's good at the murderings.
Let's see, who else do we even have available? Do we have Dr. Kane? Or Doc Arrow to kill us?
A similar situation. I don't know, chat. Who do you think we should play against today? Who's it gonna be? We got Potato McWhiskey. We've got Lomadia or Lamadia.
I think it's Lamadia. At least that's how Bo pronounces it, and he's known her for quite a while, so
I'm not sure. I don't know her personally, but I watched her back in the Yogscast, the early Yogscast days. So I actually remember her from a long time ago. Potato McWhiskey.
The potato's already
okay.
in here.
We got that one, Groucho. Oscar, hello. Welcome into the stream.
Well, I guess if there's no strong opinions, actually there should be a
randomization button.
Oh wait, no, it's not here. It's here. So I guess let's keep 2 surprises.
All right, I like it. Me gusta.
Anything else?
I think we're good. Difficulty Nation. Yeah.
Yes, because anything higher we completely get our butt kicked. Because
how hard do you want to struggle?
We're actually bad at the game.
I mean, I think that we're good, but we're not that good.
Yeah, we're not actually bad, but compared to some of our players.
Yeah. What happened to Kelta from the closed beta? Sorry, Kata. That's an I, not an L.
True. I think there was a different persona in the closed beta still.
I didn't work here when that was going on, actually.
I mean, clearly he's not there anymore, so I think there may have been a reason to remove that persona, but I don't know. It might be that like the intended like traits or something didn't work out because the AI wouldn't work out with it or something. I don't know.
Possible. I'm not sure. We may never know what happened.
Need to close your eyes for a surprise. Yeah, it is true. Like when you set it to random, like and you click start game, I think there's like a split second where you can see them, but
I didn't see.
Yeah, I was busy looking at chat. So
yeah. See, we were we're really good at surprising ourselves.
I'm already mentally prepared to be very surprised at how much the is kicking my butt in next week's scenario.
Are we gonna give him any hints as to what might be coming?
it is, since the last one was peaceful exploration. This one's gonna be a bit more aggressive, but it's a similar time period.
I like it.
But yeah,
those cave buffalo.
And the funny thing, of course, I was trying to because as I set it up, depending on which tools I use, sometimes it counts for the error stars. So in this case, it's one of those cases where you already start with a bunch of fame. But funnily enough, it worked out with I think everybody's within 50 points of fame or something. So it's actually really close at the start.
Okay, very nice.
So this is not one of those uphill struggle ones like the Against All Odds ones, or the Roman scenario, which I think the Roman scenario balance wise worked. Like with the Against All Odds, the point was it being very tough, but I think it turned out a little bit too tough.
Yeah, Against All Odds. Honestly, I
think part of the problem there was I think it should the humankind difficulty with that scenario together was too much. At a lower difficulty, maybe it would have worked better because then the AI wouldn't have kept pulling ahead as much.
Yeah.
But the Roman scenario, I think, worked a lot better, and it was also more fun because you had the AIs going to war with each other, and you had the independent states and everything.
I got some copper.
Yeah, that's
big win.
That's a promising start.
It's a big win. Red asks, will the time you spend in one era increase or research speed? Your research speed, maybe. So the technology can keep up with the era.
I do think there is stock you can keep of your research when you have nothing queued, but I'm not 100% sure because I never looked into that in detail, that there's a limit to how much you can save up. So you can't save up everything and then you go into the next era and you just unlock everything. There's something I don't know, 5 times your per turn science or whatever.
Right.
Oh no, I just saw the enemy walk by.
Oh no. Our first sighting. Welcome in, Dr. Kane. Dun, 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 dun. Hope you're having an amazing week. I think we are. Honestly,
I'm having a pretty decent week, yes.
Last night was just so fun.
Apart from we really need a quicker draft.
Yeah, well, I actually felt like I was pretty rushed through that process because I've never done it before.
The pace of the draft, to enjoy the draft was good, but to actually get to play, it wasn't. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I'd be perfectly fine having
if this was a weekend
draft.
If this was a weekend thing, yes, definitely.
Like let's say you were okay, this week we'll do the draft, we'll make our decks, and then next week we'll play. Obviously, if you're oh, I really want to play now, but
or I guess it would need to be a weekend thing where you just
you start in the morning.
Start in the morning or even early in the afternoon on a Saturday or something. Let's see if we can at least get a couple more people, because we got the trait, but I don't exactly want to advance into the ancient era with one dude.
Yeah, that'd be bad. There's a deer.
I mean,
I don't know that they are deer, not elkins.
We should be able to take that.
Elkin.
As long as we make sure that we have the high ground.
Yes, and then the dumb animal will attack us.
Possibly even from the
fool!
low ground. Nope.
But anyways, yeah, I've never done a draft pick open up booster packs type dealio for anything before, and I gotta admit,
you could have just said draft.
yeah, well, if people don't know what a draft is, I realize that
but
for me it makes sense from like I play Clash Royale and there's like
if
tournament
people don't
draft.
know what a draft is, I don't know if a draft pick open up booster type dealio would help them.
It's just more adjectives to help them figure out what I'm talking about, you know?
Is it though?
Yeah, you know, open up booster pack dealio, you know? So you have 3 booster packs. You open up one, you take one card out and you pass it down.
What I'm just thinking?
14 cards in the booster pack.
Have you even established the context here? I think we haven't so far, not once mentioned that we were playing Magic.
I just assume everybody follows me on Twitter and saw my tweet. So, you know?
Okay, so you just assume that you're famous.
Yeah, exactly. You know, follow me on Twitter. Come on, nerds. I love it. I was like, how can I make nerds sound the most affectionate way possible?
Hey, look, when a nerd calls somebody else a nerd, it's fine.
I feel like me opening up about my hobbies, which is Magic the Gathering, which is damn it, Kimura-sama, which is, you know, I don't know, people could say that Magic the Gathering is a pretty nerdy game. You know,
it absolutely is.
You're playing with cards, which is already like a popularity -1, you know, and then
I guess the only card game where it's not popularity -1 is poker.
Pokemon.
Poker.
Oh,
not Pokemon. Poker. Actual poker for money.
Poker. Yeah. That's a cool person card game.
Exactly.
But no, we were playing Magic the Gathering, and I played when I was in my 18 to 20-year-old stage. So it's been, you know, 10 years or so. And I had the most fun because, like, I've opened up booster packs before, right? And that's like fun. But the stress of being like, okay, you open it up and you have to only pick one card. Only one. And then you have to give that pack to somebody else. But then you get to see all the next cards that the other person had that they didn't pick. And then you get to choose one from that. And like, I don't know, it was just really cool. I was probably annoying people because I kept on going, ooh.
Aha. He was doing the influencer thing.
Yeah, well, I was just so excited. There were so many pretty cards. They never had full art cards back when I played.
Yeah, that also came after I quit. And it's definitely very nice.
It looks cool.
But also, you know, I've always been down for the Phyrexia aesthetic, which...
Yeah, it was a new expansion with abilities that I didn't know either. So there was a lot of questions and...
It is, you know, that is one of those things where it's like I don't know, I have actual data on this, so I can't say how true that is or not. But I have the impression that out of all of the different, like, Magic cycles and Magic factions, that whole biomechanical thing of Phyrexia seems to be very popular with queer people. But that's like,
I don't see the connection. Is there a connection I'm missing?
well,
Or is it just
the thing is,
happened?
body horror as well has been big with queer people for a while, and I think it is for a lot of people this whole when you already have a weird relationship to your body, then this kind of thing becomes very appealing.
Abstract, like images and stuff.
No, not the abstract images. Like the Phyrexia is very much like, you may have seen the jokes about completion spelled with EA in the group.
I didn't. Well, I wasn't in the group.
The whole concept of Phyrexia is like they pursue something they call completion, which is like they warp their flesh and add mechanical components to become more perfect.
Okay.
So it's
body augmentation type.
But in a way that most people go.
Eesh. Okay.
And it's to be fair, it's not always consensual. So
I gotta get close to the mic here.
How did you know? That I am Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez, Chief Metallurgist to King Charles V of Spain. So yo!
But yeah, and yeah, I think for the same reason that like body horror in general appeals to queer people there, because it's this whole, hey, I'm already disconnected from my
the
body, so like
dysmorphia.
the horror of then I guess feels more real. But for some people, there's also a certain appeal of like, you know, hey, warping your body to be what you want it to be.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I really like the expansion. Well, I don't know. We're calling it expansions in card games. The DLC, the downloadable card tent.
There's like a bunch of different terms for what to call that in Magic.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, we lost some picks because I was going slow, but also we have more fame than everybody else. So I think that was fine.
We might also have more units than everyone else too. Rimworld drill arms become perfect. Just gotta elongate your head and shave your hair.
Of course, the Phoenicians are gone.
Dang
because
it.
we went slow, but I'm sure we have something good. I mean, when everything fails,
Egyptians.
Egyptians.
Do we have rivers so we could be the Harappans? The hairpins?
No, we don't have. Another reason why I was going slow is like, this is not great territory. This at least has some fertile areas.
Mm-hmm.
But like we have precious little good industry, and we have like only this one river. It's not great territory.
Disappointed.
But at least we have good resources. We have like 2 copper and a horse.
And a horse.
No, actually 3 copper because we have this one as well. So we're
good industry boost.
We're pretty set on the strategic resources. So I'm thinking either we play the long game with the adjacency bonuses, and we do have coastal areas to build the ceremonial plaza.
Mm-hmm.
Or we do go Egyptians for the more industry.
I mean, industry schmindustry, really. Like,
I am definitely tempted by the Carolines here because so many times I'm.
when we got the
I'm not in
healers
the,
for some early game aggression.
In the position to actually make use of this because of the water tile restriction.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go for the Caroline.
I want to see us do some legitimate healer battle gameplay.
We'd have to be very quick about that because as soon as the other players have anything that isn't just scouts, the units are gonna be stronger than the healer. The whole point of the healer is
hashtag buff healer.
no. The whole point of the healer is that it's not a combat unit. You bring one of them along in the rest of your army to patch up the rest of the army after the battle.
Then let's try that. Let's do that. I just have never seen the healers used effectively.
You can enjoy both markets and monumental.
Your first city can be founded.
Yep. But,
Nice.
But we may actually first need to move around a little to a better spot somewhere.
Okay.
Do we want to use this
Dushuba?
as the first city, or should it be? Come on.
We got
I'm
3.
trying to get on the high ground somewhere so we can get some vision, but it's kind of
We gotta kill
annoying
them, I
with-
think.
Oh, you already want to start trouble with
I
Jumbo?
hate to do it, Jumbo, but we must murder you.
Well,
So,
I guess
do you view
if you
the
want that.
Alliance friend or
Victory.
It's time to unravel the diplomat's
Can this guy... No, this is all cliffs. Come on. Why can't anybody get on the high ground to get some vision? I guess let's
Gotta go all
go
the
in
way
here
around.
to at least meet the neighbors. And somehow we did.
Wow.
All right then. Наша играет. I guess that's one of the random picks
Yeah.
we got.
There you go.
Because I don't recall picking him.
I don't think we did.
Technically more food, but way less industry. So I guess this is actually... technically, this is a better spot.
Because of the forest over there, I guess?
No, like, it's just 2 food more than we have here. And then I guess we can build out here and use the ceremonial plaza somewhere over here to start building
Get some farms.
farmers' quarters.
I do like farms.
So
That
let's
is
actually try that. Yes.
half of our
Means shelter for
influence,
those who
but
need it. A place to
Yeah,
store
but it's
food
also
and
only one
water
turn
and
worth of
supplies.
influence, and I think that
May not
that
be
was
glorious,
worth it
but it beats
fair
sleeping under a
enough.
tree.
for like the extra food and extra growth. But yeah, if you look at our food, 9 food, that's like we can feed like 2 people with that or something. I don't think we need 3 in here, so let's see. I know the first one is very little food consumption, like only 6. But like if we move it over here, we're already only at 2.
Yeah, people are hungry.
So if we hadn't moved, we wouldn't be growing anymore now.
Sheesh.
Oh, already got leverage here.
What'd they do?
I don't know. Let's see.
What have they grieved us with? Trespassing on his jackets?
Ah. Because we made the city while the unit was in here. So now they're considered trespassing.
Got him. But we don't have an envoy to pick it up.
So let's see. There's no good spot to build a mega squad here, is there? Wait. It's +2 faith per adjacent district. So since it's it does exploit everything. We don't have any like science curiosities around here, do we? Nah. Too bad, because that would have been nice to just, nab the science using the ceremonial plaza.
True.
But in that case, I think the the ideal spot will be somewhere like this. We can get as much around it as possible for the faith.
Ooh.
Wait, why are you getting? Oh, because it's getting these, but we'll be getting those when we build the extractors anyway. So we don't need to worry about that.
11 food.
Yeah, that'll help the growth quite a bit.
So how many of y'all are planning on coming to visit us in at TwitchCon this year? July 6th through 8th, I believe it was. They just announced it today. And it's a Saturday and a Sunday, I believe. Which kind of begs the question, I don't know, where I'm assuming we're going to be there for our jobs.
Well, I'm not sure if I will be there because, I usually don't handle influencers, but some people from Amplitude will be there.
Greetings,
we already met almost everybody. And we know where the last person is, I guess. No, wait, that's blank. That's the Mycenaeans. Alright, this is just the red player that for some reason we managed to not run into. I guess we'll follow the road. It's going up here somewhere.
There you go.
Ah, there they are.
Musenge.
I think that's Bantu? Oh, wait.
I don't recognize the names.
We saw the city center, but
Haven't
somehow
seen
we
any
went
units.
close enough for it to count.
There's a bit of fog.
I mean, I'm fine trading luxuries with Jumbo.
Maybe we can trade some potatoes with Mr. McWhiskey.
The luxury good we get from Jumbo, is that just YouTube videos?
I think so, yeah.
Wait, militarist, trusting, and vindictive. I mean, if they're trusting, they might agree. And then we'll see how it goes after that, I guess.
Definitely a fun shape for a continent. Yeah, if we don't like have to go to TwitchCon for like work, like like we went to Gamescom or whatever, but if we aren't actually going to TwitchCon, I guess TwitchCon and Gamescom different, because TwitchCon is more about the streamers and Gamescom is more about the games. But they'll still have like booths and stuff for
there.
games at TwitchCon, or is it just more like meet and greets?
No,
I've never been to TwitchCon, so I don't know.
They have the booths, sure, but it's since it's not like player focused, it's less my responsibility as community manager and more like you and Bo and so streaming specialist, influencer specialists, all of that. Bound to want a non-aggression pact. I'm happy to take that because then we don't need to worry about this direction and can focus in this direction to see what's going on.
Still begs the question why an artist went to TwitchCon San Diego last year instead of me. Still not salty or anything about that. Definitely haven't moved on or
hashtag not salty. Do we have any salt?
or forgotten that.
I don't think we have salt in our empire yet, so I guess
don't worry, you can trade with me.
Yeah, I was about to say, I guess you will have to provide that.
Oh gosh. It's not like I want to be salty. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm seeking the salt. But when I have open wounds, sometimes I just accidentally knock the table salt over into the wound.
They're passive aggressive. When I was here and wanted to go this way, they founded this and stood here. Now I was like, oh, let's go the other way around. Now they're here. That's Jumbo, isn't it?
Is it because we attacked them that one time, you think?
I'm not sure the AI is that smart, but this
they've learned how to become vindictive.
This definitely feels vindictive. I think he had vindictive. He has vindictive.
And never forget. Never forgive, never forget. Honestly, the only way
science and research corner that doesn't help yet either.
The only way around this is by
I mean, the important thing is I wanted to get here to hopefully claim the copper before anybody else does.
Are you trying to get a monopoly on the copper resources?
Sort of. God damn it.
Just kill them.
I think we may have a... No, we don't have a non-aggression pact in that case. But they have the high ground, and this is all rivers.
They're standing right on top of our city, though. That you can't let that stand.
I guess they're wound.
We get one high ground.
Actually, we have two people, so yeah, it's fine. I thought this was only. Wasn't looking properly and thought this was only.
Can we just
one
put
person.
one guy up at the top as well?
I'm actually thinking it's better if we have this guy here because then he can get around to here. Or stop here so we get.
I mean, they have like 5 health. What's gonna happen?
But getting the flanking bonus will still reduce the amount of damage we take in return.
Oh, 17. Sheesh. Alright.
I guess it has to.
It's worth. It's worth. When are you guys gonna contract an outsourcing studio that isn't Aspire? Necologist guy. That is a great question, not one that I can answer.
Yeah, that's beyond our knowledge, honestly.
That happens more on like a studio level and not on a community level. We can ask, but I don't think that type of a question is gonna go over super well.
Right,
just because it's not like how do you put it, it's like currently we're working with them.
Yeah, the way that question was phrased is definitely
it's objection, Your Honor, leading the witness.
Yeah, pretty much. Like that feels
the
like...
assumption is that they're not doing a good job, so when are you going to work with someone else?
Yeah,
I feel
that's at least how the question feels. Yes,
that isn't Aspire. Yeah, it just feels like the way that it's written just feels like that. Who knows? Maybe you don't actually think that.
But the way it's written feels disparaging towards Aspire.
Especially with the context of the fact that the console version was delayed, and I'm not, oblivious to that. So,
I mean, how could you be oblivious to that, given that you get 5 questions more than a day on Winner?
So you can make a suggestion, Coconut Dawn, but it will just enter our brains and eventually leave our brains. But
Which in my case usually happens pretty quickly because I don't want brain
it will
good.
happen later tonight, I guarantee you, because I will go home and eat dinner and forget about the day. But you can always put it on amplifiers, aka old games together, and put it in the ideas section, which interestingly enough, the ideas section is going to get a little bit of love here soon.
They were quicker than we were.
Ah, dang it. Burn it to the ground.
Because we can barely move. We can barely move for scouts. Yeah, this is the problem. Like 6 players
I got
on
a
one
question you
continent, a
can
small
answer.
world.
What is happening with your hair, facial hair, Jordan? Every time I enter the stream, you have less of it.
That's because we keep trying to force him to dye in blue and then he shaves it off.
I mean, there's more than last time. Maybe there's less since the last time you were here, but there's less on my head, yes. But there's more on my face because it grew. That's exactly how the question's intended to come across. It's not just your guys' game, but several others, including KOTOR 2, Civ 6, etc. Just feels sour because good games get the short end because of trusting them. Yeah, I actually don't know anything really. I'm not privy to the information about how things work in that regard.
Neither am I, so I'm not gonna talk about it.
I, like you, can notice, patterns and can have my own personal feelings on those patterns, but
it's a small map, so I think polytheism.
Yeah, but no, I think I can understand where you're coming from, and I can tell you that from a personal standpoint, I'm personally, frustrated. Maybe more because as a social media manager, I get to, I'm very, aware of the amount of people that were disappointed, which makes me disappointed. But me personally not owning a console, I don't have a personal stake in it. But obviously I would prefer that, sooner rather than later, we have access to that. So
I think
I get what you mean.
Next
Really
turn, next turn I can slap down an outpost here, and we move it afterward. I don't care, but I want this because it has the wonder.
You like the nomadic or Neolithic era, so much that you want to stay in the Neolithic era and have a whole different tech tree. So you want to remain tribal for the whole game. Is that what I'm hearing? Yeah, that's a good point, Dr. Kane. You can basically pick nomadic civs up until the medieval.
We're pretty much completely linear. I think we can move to here technically. And it's like, come on, guys, let us move around. No, we can't move because we don't have open borders with Potato.
But he's got 3 people in his land because he just nabbed it.
And we don't have influence to suggest open borders. So maybe if I... No, because... can I? Yes!
What's up, Kmart?
Let's get a little bit more growth going here, I think. And also a little bit of faith, so we can start spreading that. Now, speaking of... I'm pretty sure this is where we're gonna be putting the obelisk, because it's so far out of the way, but also, have a nice view when worshipping at the obelisk.
Yeah, I feel like we should probably address the whole Aspire thing, not formally, because again, formally speaking,
Formally speaking, we have very little knowledge of exactly what's going on.
Yeah, and we basically just know what the people high up the totem pole tell us. However, that being said, I feel like there's an assumption that maybe we aren't voicing those concerns from the community. Because you said like the odds of them listening to random people in the community instead of the community leaders saying it. I just want you to know that we are literally the loudest voices in our company when it comes to advocating for the community and
but also this whole what are the odds of them listening to random people from the community? It's like that kind of assumes that our leadership isn't also frustrated by the delay and the fact that the console version was supposed to come out in November. I don't know what happened to cause the delay, but obviously everybody involved is not happy about the delay, and that most likely includes Aspire.
I have no idea from their point of view how this looks, but from our point of view, like, us and our leaders, I think I can speak for them in saying that they're disappointed that the delay happened as well. But like it's kind of one of those things where even if we've said it in the past and we continue to let people know in the future, I don't want to say it's not going to change anything, but it probably won't change anything because these things are just they're much more about like, the bean counters and the, big decision people in, our leadership, Sega, like these are, because it feels rough unless you think about it from the sense of like, if we as a company, the company does well, then people keep their jobs. If the company do bad, people lose jobs. If we have to drop projects and cut down the size of things and whatever, that directly translates to people having or not having jobs. Now, thankfully, I'm not going to feel that effect probably because, our social media team is probably going to stay the same size regardless, but I have to imagine that there's, designers, artists, people that, if something didn't go well, wouldn't have a job. And so I guess it's kind of everybody involved is in their best interest to not have it be delayed. So I don't think that there's any, like big nefarious conspiracy being like, well, we're going to keep on choosing something that's going to make things happen that we don't want to happen. I'm trying to be non-specific because, again, even though I can express my personal opinions, we still represent the company. So does that make sense, Nicologist? I don't know if that's a satisfying answer or what, but in some ways I would even say the community's sentiment is maybe even more important than our personal feelings about it, because
definitely
if we have evidence from you, the
if a lot of
community,
people speak up about it, especially
that you're feeling a certain way about it, then that actually is what gives power to our positions. Because a community leader being like, hey, our community needs this, I'm sure of it, is a lot less powerful than saying, hey, our community needs this, look at these 100 tweets saying hashtag bringing the consoles back, or whatever, like, and me having like screenshots of all these like tweets is way more powerful than me being like, I'm pretty sure people are upset about this, like, just trust me on that. I'm
trying to decide now, to get back to the game, where to actually move the outposts before I attach them, because obviously this time I need to keep in mind we do have the ceremonial plaza, so I would probably put that somewhere around here to surround it. And like the suggestion is like, oh, put it over here, and it's like, no, that's right next to the ceremonial plaza. That makes no sense. So I'm thinking maybe I'll actually want it somewhere down here where we get like a bunch of industry.
Could be good, yeah.
And this one, actually, I may end up, now, well, probably not this one, but this tile I'll probably like sacrifice to put it like market quarter to take advantage of the adjacency there.
There was a lot of chat that I missed while I was talking about that. Oh, the Super Culture Pack has a nomadic culture in the second half of the game. Interesting. I actually didn't know that.
Is the Super Culture Pack the one that has like six different versions of Swiss?
I maybe.
You know, I've been actually also talking with Sergio, and I've been thinking on the streams when you come back. Maybe we should, you know, pick another mod to try and show off.
Could be good, yeah. Any news about the game? Well, the Shackleton update came out with the Amplified 2023. So the Shackleton update brought. We can actually show the whole send gift button.
Yes.
One of the
let me see. Who are we even on good terms with?
not them. They're hesitant.
I mean, it doesn't
No,
really.
they're hesitant.
It doesn't really matter because, full disclosure, the send gift button does not influence AI opinion because we found if we let it influence AI opinion,
It was bribe, not gift.
yeah, it was a bribe. Well, I mean, but you know, if you send somebody a gift, technically, you know, you would expect them to, you know, regard you as not an enemy. But it was pretty much impossible to find values where it wasn't perfectly balanced with no exploits. And since, you know, we didn't want players to spiff every game they had, we had to remove that.
So yeah, definitely check out the patch notes for the Shackleton update on amplifiers. Which, if you haven't heard about the Shackleton update, then most likely you haven't heard that we had a little bit of a rebranding for Games Together, which we're now calling amplifiers, which is actually on your shirt.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it's got a new fancy logo. It's kind of our personalization of the Games Together platform, because there's actually other companies in the Sega family that are starting to use the same technology to make their own.
Can we even still say they're starting to use it about Relic?
I mean,
the game they've been using it for releases in like a week. I'm pretty sure they're past the starting phase.
They're using it. I'm just saying, you know, they are. But yeah. I also think, by the way, you could do a culture super pack stream and let Jordan experience a modded cultures only run. I think we did super culture pack once.
We did try only modded cultures, but of course there's a lot more cultures we could be trying.
Yeah, but I wasn't playing during that time as well. And then there's some links in the chat that Dark Arrow just put, so you can look at the patch notes, update scenario, all that jazz. Hey, Thenarios, welcome in. Nicologist, yeah, trust me when I say that I totally understand what you mean, and I 100% agree with you in terms of, you know, trusting the partners that you're working with and, you know, basing your willingness to work with people off of a set of behavior, you know. So, I get it. Trust me, I do. Heard you've got a beautiful voice that's better than an AI. I do, apparently.
So what you're saying is we shouldn't implement a text-to-speech version trained on you?
Yeah, maybe. But I think the issue is that it doesn't sound. There's not the same inconsistencies and uniqueness to an AI, even if you're using it like off of a real person's voice. Like if you've trained it to sound like a person. I don't know though.
No,
there was an interesting.
Like I think the whole point why a lot of voice actors are now like tweeting about like, hey, you know, if you see something that I didn't say, I acted that was probably not me, and I didn't consent to that, because apparently these AI voice programs are getting so good
well,
that
you can
it's hard
feed them real people's
you
voices.
can feed them real people's voices, and then they imitate that to a pretty good level, and that's like that's concerning for the, you know, livelihood of the voice actors, but that's also very concerning for like the trustworthiness of all audio.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it hails back to like V for Vendetta or I don't know. There's several shows where they've shown sort of like a deep fake style thing.
You know, I am kind of tempted to
Yeah.
just make a mega city.
I actually, my personal advice to you, Nicologist, was actually to like voice your concerns on a public space. So something
Um,
like Twitter or
Yeah, I was about to say, very importantly, a more permanent public space than the Twitch chat. Because
yeah.
you can voice your concerns here all stream long. This is very hard to show to the people actually making the decisions. Post it on G2G, post it on Twitter, post it on Steam. Well, probably not Steam if you're interested in the console version, but somewhere where it's easy for us to grab a link and show it to people.
Yeah. I mean, even like you were saying, you're in a very tight-knit community of console users who feel a certain way about certain people. You know, making again, it sounds silly, but a hashtag or some sort of movement, like you have the power to create, you know, a big enough movement to make a difference. And it may not feel like that, but trust me when I say, you know, decisions are made a lot of times based off of, you know, community sentiment. And
This emblematic unit
I don't know, you know, that's market awareness.
your empire.
You know, there are marketing terms for what this is, and in the day and age that we live in, a lot of these decisions, a lot of these things are made on Reddit, on Twitter, on these different social platforms where people express ideas, opinions, and either agree with each other or disagree with each other. And I think the more that you can create consistent content about that, you know, the better.
You know, I just realized we have like a fabulous trade agreement with Lesha. We have no idea where the hell he even is. Black, red, purple, orange.
yeah.
Where's yellow? Hey, you know, dude, if we want to
met them
trade
somehow.
if we want to trade, would you mind actually telling us where to go to trade with you? What?
They have one unit. It's blinking over there, in the black territory.
Do they really have no cities?
That's awkward.
Hey man, you can buy all of my stuff. You just don't have a city.
So yeah, like asking what the status of it isn't the same as making a well-worded message and having the community agree with that. Right? So let's say we post something unrelated to the console version of Humankind on Twitter. And yes, I see people saying, hey, what's the situation with the console? Hey, what's the situation with the console? From our official account, I have no way to respond to that. I've, you know, other than, hey, here's the latest news that we have. But what I'm saying is, you know, saying something like, hey, this is how I feel things are going. Here's evidence to support my claims. This is why I think that X group of people should do Y thing. If you agree with me, then like this post, retweet it, and share it. And then I can say, hey, look at this post that's, you know, directed at us or directed at whatever. There's this many people that feel the same way or that at least interacted with it and shared it. You know, this isn't just a couple of random people that are really passionate. You know, this is something that is really important to a lot of people. And then at that point, that's a very different conversation than, oh, some random guy came into our Twitch chat and wanted the console version earlier than what, you know, we haven't said when, but you know what I mean? Like, you know, that's not something I can really be like, hey, like, there's people. And they'll be like, what people? And I'll be like, well, like one guy came into chat and like a couple of people commented on our Twitch or our tweets. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't tell you what to do, but I'm trying to give you ideas, you know, of ways that you can put your energy into this, because it seems like it's something that you're passionate about. It seems like maybe you um, take a bit of more of a leadership role in your communities, your online communities, and I respect that. And I want you to be able to make a difference. So playing Humankind on or Endless Space on Steam Deck, Steam OS, and console mode must be hell. I actually know that on the Stadia, the touch controls people really liked with Humankind, but I don't know what Humankind's like on the Steam Deck. I don't know if I've had anybody say.
I've never played. I think we have some better controls for it on Steam Deck now. I think that was part of
AO Axel.
of the Shackleton update. But I don't know because I don't own a Steam Deck, so of course I couldn't.
Yeah, I
try
personally don't have a Steam Deck either.
I've been meaning to pick one up because maybe that'll help me get through my backlog if I'm more flexible where I play.
So Nicologist, Amplifiers has different pages for all of our games.
If you want to talk about Humankind, you should go to the Humankind universe on Amplifiers because the Amplifiers section is specifically about the website. So it's like feedback to the web team for hey, you should improve, I don't know,
okay.
the text editor by adding emotes or whatever. It's not about our games.
I imagine they have a Steam Deck somewhere that they use for testing, for Endless Dungeon. I think they've used a Steam Deck to test Endless Dungeon.
Oh, sure, the company has a Steam Deck, but I don't.
Yeah. I don't think we're allowed to just pop in and be like, hey, I'm just going to pop
I grab
in
the Steam Deck
for a quick Steam Deck break, So I think that'd be cool. I honestly, when I imagined working at a video game studio, I was kind of thinking of I imagined something like a Google headquarters situation where it's there's relaxation stations with ping pong tables and video game consoles.
You imagined
free
the
snacks.
video game industry and relaxation in the same
place? Yeah.
You were not prepared for this job, were you?
Stephanie, when I came to France, I was just coming to support my wife, and I didn't have a job.
Yeah, but it's when
happened into this thing.
The whole how chaotic it is, that must have. You absolutely did not expect that, did you?
I mean, I had not a lot of expectations. No, I just kind of was like, ooh, video games, fun. No, yeah.
For crying out loud, I just.
Cheers, Nicologist. I appreciate you working with us for that, because it's something that we're definitely aware of and keeps us up at night. Honestly, it's not something that we're super jazzed about. Need it for the community stream, exactly. My backlog is full of CRPGs, city builders, 4X games, so I would not be able to do much on a Steam Deck.
My backlog was already huge. Then I joined Amplitude. Now we get, that Sega key.
Access to the Sega library is pretty bonkers.
There's 300 or so games in my Steam library. I have another 100 games or so on GOG. And probably 100 or so waiting on Humble Bundle. And of course, not all of them I actually intend to play because some of them are games I have no interest in. But there's still way too many games I'm interested in.
There's a lot of good games out there.
Way too many games.
So many Total Wars. Honestly, though.
Honestly, I'm at the point where I'm thinking, I need to impose a limit on how many hours of Total War or the Paradox games I play per week, or we'll never get around to other games.
Yeah.
Because they just take so much time.
Yeah. Cheers, Nicologist. Thank you for coming in here and having a real conversation. Sometimes, I'm sure you can imagine, but sometimes it's frustrating to want to have real discourse with people, but they just want to be frustrated or they just want to be angry, and so that's tough. So it's refreshing to be able to have a real conversation with somebody.
For being a benevolent, careful, and forgiving AI, Potato has been very unwilling to work with us and has been constantly chasing down our scouts.
The Nubians.
So actually, my dear Potato, all I wanted was to briefly walk through your territory to like look at the city of the independent people over here. But you had to try murder our scout.
That's messed up. Messed up, Potato. Potatoes. Games are not the problem, but time is, yeah.
Yes, there's never enough time.
Yeah, for me, I'm kind of one of those chronic, like, I play one game for, like, months and just play the heck out of it, and then I shall move on now.
Yeah, but this is one of the things where I'm like, a lot of the very long games, like, you know, for example, I played a lot of Deep Rock Galactic for a while. But then when they announced that season pass they have now, I looked at that and I realized how little progress I made after one mission on the first level, and I realized how much time I was spending on DRG, and I'm like, no, I need to put this game down or I will never get to other games.
Yeah, the missions themselves take not that long, but what ends up happening is it ends up feeling grindy because, you know, you're going in and you have to do the mission to get on to the next thing, and, you know, it only gives you a certain amount of XP or whatever.
Very well, Mr. Whiskey.
Yeah, I saw the Elder Scrolls Online update or announcement, a new class. I feel like
That's another one. Like I played it
I
for
watched
quite
like
a while.
a short trailer,
and you
for-
know, I know people were like, when it came up, bashing on it, and sure they had like some technical issues, but so many people were, oh, this is not an Elder Scrolls game at all. But I think, of course, you can't expect like a perfect Elder Scrolls game out of an MMO. But I do think that it is what I was expecting of an Elder Scrolls MMO.
Right.
And I played it a bit, and then, you know, again, like, oh no, you know, so many other games, and put it aside. I do want to go back to it at some point, maybe, but probably need to look around for people to join me, because I did get to the point where, like, questing by myself, the enemies got too tough not to beat, but they were tough enough that it stopped being fun fighting them, because
Right.
it just took way too long for each enemy.
That makes sense. Yeah, I saw some like video about it, and they were like, play with friends or travel alone, and I was like, wait, you can really like play this solo? Because so
Yes,
many
in
MMOs, you actually reach a soft cap
I think
of what you can
my
achieve as a
mistake
solo player.
for it was like, you know, had a specific character in mind. I made the character, and in the end, for solo play, I really should have made some kind of character with like summoning abilities, so I could have minions instead of a more fightery type.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And also, I was interested in trying the crafting system, and obviously, if I'm only crafting for myself, I'm only getting so much out of that.
Yeah. Hey, Angel, welcome in.
Oh, hey, we finally have a
Constantly
diplomat to
jump
go
from
in.
game to game, never finished them. Currently 150 hours on the last Pathfinder game. I barely have half through the campaign. Same for BattleTech. It's tough.
BattleTech, you mean the HBS one?
It's an MMORPG, and I actively enjoy the end game a lot. Well, that's saying something, because a lot of times the end game of MMOs is actually the most boring part.
The interesting thing, I think a lot of the end game of the Elder Scrolls MMO is like the PvP stuff in Cyrodiil. But yeah, the HPS. Oh, I haven't touched that in so long. Someday I will go back and actually play through the campaign and finish it.
Companions, like AI companions.
That would help my character a lot, I think.
Yeah,
But
in the new Forest game, the Forest 2 or something, it's like a survival game. They made an AI character that like helps you, and you can tell them, hey, go collect wood, go collect stones, because these are like tasks that nobody wants to do. And so
Yes.
if you're playing solo, you can have the AI just be like, oh yes, go get me some rocks, because I need rocks, and I don't want to go out and pick up rocks off the ground.
Yep.
So Bobby, it's your jobby.
But yeah, no.
I forget what the AI's name was now, but
But yeah, Thanaros, the BattleTech game. Yeah, I need to go back and actually play through that at some point. I was a bit. Well, I guess there's mods for that now. But when I played it at release, some of the user experience wasn't great because it was like very slow between the animations. But of course, there's mods for that now, I think, and all of the DLC they added. I need to pick that up at some point, and also get through the, well, I think 90 mechs I have sitting on my shelf waiting to get painted. For context, you need like 1 to 4 per player, usually, if you play the detailed rules. So I have like enough for like 20 players.
You just got to bring them all to the office and set them up on a
No,
table,
I do want to,
like an epic battle scene.
I do want to finish at least 2 sides, and I have some filled out terrain from one of the starter boxes, and then, you know, in one of our club chats, be like, hey, you know, anybody fancy a demo game of giant stumpy robots? Because surely there's somebody at this company who's into giant stumpy robots.
I have to imagine that that's the case. But yeah, no, the like grindy aspects of games are always my least favorite.
Exactly.
That's kind of like why I could never get to the end game in RuneScape, because I swear to you, it takes like thousands of hours to get to a point where you can actually do
this independent
boss
people
fights.
is gonna die before we ever get to lay eyes on them, because they keep blocking us.
Can't you just like roll in with like a juicy squad so that their little guys don't dare?
Well, these guys, I think we actually have peace with. So we can't. And these guys we also have peace with. They're the ones who don't even have a city.
They're just body blocking
And they're
us.
just body blocking us.
Time to, you know, pave a new path. A path of blood. We don't have boats either because we're still in the ancient era, which
And
is a bummer.
Jumbo Pixel just attacked one of our diplomats, which is also not cool. But Potato is... we have bigger potatoes to fry, so to speak. Because we're actually at war with Potato.
Characters are way stronger. If you played several years ago, the best DPS was 65,000. Right now, you're not allowed to.
That's one of the
veteran
things that's always been weird to me for Elder Scrolls. It's like how big the numbers get.
Right.
It's like I'm only like level 25 or so, and it's already like, oh, this weapon deals like 5,000 damage. Like, what?
Yeah, at a certain point, the numbers kind of get a little bloated. I'm into it, but not in the company. Oh, big stumpy robots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there's online solutions for that, but it's less fun than actually, you know, rolling the dice and moving the models.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of cool actually how much stuff we can do with people here in the studio. Like we actually have like a lot of people that are interested in various hobbies. But why don't
Are
they
you kidding me?
Why don't they just put them together? What's wrong with them?
This is getting ridiculous.
All right, declare war on them. I don't even care.
Well, luckily we are at war with Potato, so we can just walk through Potato's area here.
Oh, okay.
But I think actually
Easy clap.
we may need to...
200 million health is too much. I think humans actually start to lose the ability to comprehend numbers at a certain point.
Very much so, yes.
Like a billion, incomprehensible. Literally, you cannot look at me and tell me dead in the eyes and be like, Jordan, I can think about the number a billion and think about how many individual things that is, because you can't.
And then, you know, there's people spending
lie.
44 of those on one single website.
Yeah. But 200 million, like, even like 100,000 is kind of hard to wrap your head around.
Yes.
When you think about how many followers you have on social media and you feel bad about yourself, this is what I always tell myself. Think about how many people that would be if you put them in a room. And you gathered all those people together and you put them in a room. 100 followers, you're like, I don't have that many followers. Put 100 people in a room and think about all those people listening to what you had to say. You know, big claps. That's a lot of people. So, I mean, heck, even I don't know why I was shying away from saying hell, but you know, even having like 5 people listen to what you have to say, that's still a lot of people. You know, you can be in a big room full of people and not have anybody listening to you.
Very true.
I've been to some parties where I didn't know anybody and I was just kind of a wallflower, a little fly on the wall. And, you can feel pretty lonely even when you're surrounded by people if nobody's like connecting with you. On which social media though, Thenarios? Because on some of my social medias I have like no followers.
Yep.
I swear, like getting people to follow you on Twitter is really tough.
Oh yeah.
Like people are like, nah. And then you also see these people that have like thousands of followers, but nobody interacts with their stuff.
But on the other hand, I understand it. Like I technically follow like, I don't know, 100 accounts, but most of them rarely tweet. Only like 6 of them, maybe 10 of them regularly tweet. But even with that, my feed is basically incomprehensible.
Yeah, well, most of my feed is just Elon Musk tweets at this point.
And the worst thing where I'm like, hey, this really doesn't need to be like this is like I scroll past the tweet of one of them, and then like 4 or 5 of the people I follow also follow them and have retweeted, and then it shows me
again.
Why don't you just say on the original tweet, these people you follow have retweeted it?
Yeah.
Why is it in my feed 5 times?
Because Twitter make no sense. But the devs have been actively making work towards supporting the community much more and being better about communication. They actually recently supported an event that a streamer made and gifted the winners a unique pet solely for them. Main reason I got back into the game because before they struggled with listening to more than people that would come for a week and leave. Oh my gosh, that's frustrating though, especially in like the FPS community. Like you have these people that come and play these games for like a couple weeks and then they have all these opinions and then the devs are like, this is what people want. And then you're like, nope, those are the people that were going to be here for 5 days. And the people that are left are frustrated with how the game is, but aren't going to leave because they're so dedicated, even if they're frustrated with how it is. And so it's like super messed up because then the people that don't actually care enough about the game to stick around get what they want, but then leave. And maybe they get what they want after they've left, because it takes time to change stuff.
But I'm actually going to go
on
ahead
Instagram. Well, one of my Instagram accounts has a decent amount of followers, but my other ones don't.
I'm actually for the time being gonna make the mega city here, just so that we can crank out some of the ceremonial plazas in various places.
Honestly, yeah.
Tempting, but no, I actually wanted like somewhere over here.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, that's a different territory than this one.
Here
I was actually planning to put it here, though.
I mean, that looks good. It's a little less industry, but you also get faith.
Yeah, but the industry, I'm building towards the industry from over here already.
Yeah, not worth. Definitely, that's a good spot.
That one goes here.
I like it.
That one I wanted, no, not there. I wanted somewhere around here and then surrounded later. Which one is the one? Probably over here. That's more industry, right?
I'm trying to understand the way that these are able to place. It seems like very specific places where you can put them. Adjacent tiles are not valid.
Why is that one saying it's not valid? It should be valid because it's next to coastal water or lakes.
I don't understand.
Yeah, that one I'm not sure why it's not letting us.
Oh,
put
sorry,
it
I missed a
here.
message. Saw some cool Kickstarters for a new war game with buildable mech. You can actually choose which part you want for legs, torso, head, and weapons. Oh, like a fully modular mech building war game.
Interesting. I mean, I'd be interested in hearing the name, even if I have way too much backlog. But I think I know why it's not working, because there's a reef here. It was hard to see because of all the little huts, but there's like
the rocks.
The rocks here, and that's why it's blocking it. Because technically,
rocks are not.
It's basically
coastal water.
Well, it's coastal water, but the way this works is more like next to anywhere you could build a harbor, and we couldn't build a harbor in here. So where do we put it?
Yeah, Nicologist, I'm one of those people that I am a content creator myself, in addition to working for Amplitude, and so I'm always advocating for like, hey, we need to like increase our relationships with these content creators. We need to make incentives for content creators to play our games, to stream our games, to make videos about our games. In fact, we need to streamline the process and create, you know, mechanics or mechanics or like things in the game that make it easier to stream or easier to make content or more interesting to make content about. Because like just as much as you have to you make the game fun to play and, you know, cater to your audience, there's still a lot of, maybe people won't even know about the game unless there is people streaming it or people making videos about it. So it won't let you drop the link, scenarios.
No, you can drop the
Only-
name, but not the link.
Only VIPs can, but it's called Obsidian Protocol.
Yeah, I'll need to try to remember that so
We
I can look it
also
up.
wouldn't be able to do the link. If you want to share the link, you can put it in, I guess, the Discord, or you can try and DM you somewhere.
I mean, as long as I can try to remember the name, it's gonna be fine. I mean, I'm sure somebody probably shared it in that Discord I'm in, and
Yeah.
just, you know, even like with a small Discord with like 200 people in it, it's like you were saying, you know, the numbers is like there's like 200 people in there, and like maybe 20 of them talk, and I already can't keep up.
Yeah, honestly, especially if it's really active. I want to become better at keeping Discords active, because I have like a community Discord, but I swear I don't know how to get people excited to like talk and stuff. I have like a very diverse community, and so it's very like difficult to be like, what is the common ground here? What can we all like chat about? Because some people are like Roblox, and other people are like, you know, dark humor, and some people are like memes. And I'm like, what? How do we make this happen? It's frustrating, but you know, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. I like challenges. But yeah, honestly, streamers breathe life into games, in my opinion. And half the reason why people play games is because their friends are playing it. And so if you can get like enough friends to play the game, then those people have friends, and those people have friends, and then suddenly everybody's playing a game that's been quote unquote dead for a while, you know? Yeah, I mean, obviously games getting cool updates and, you know, interesting content to play can revive them and whatnot. I think like the distance between my knee and my foot is shorter than the distance between my knee and my hip. So I actually feel like when I'm sitting on a chair, sometimes I start like losing blood circulation because my feet can't reach the ground, but my knees are really far off the chair. Does that make sense? Does anybody else have this problem where your knees are like your thighs are long, but your calves are short?
Hashtag just Jordan problems.
No.
Not implying that it's a normal problem.
There's gotta be people out there that have long thighs and short calves. I can't be the only one.
No. I mean, I think I know what you mean in that, because if your knees are far in front of the chair, you have like the edge of the chair.
It's like
Whereas
cutting into
in the bottom of your thigh, and that is
Yeah.
what's causing that
cutting
feeling.
into
I
the
think.
back of my thigh.
And I think
vein.
that's, you know, less the ratio of like thigh to calf, and just that the chair is too high, so your calves don't, your
Well,
feet
my
aren't
feet
probably
aren't,
on
like,
the
supporting-
properly
Yeah. It blocks your blood in the back of your knees? Well, if my knees could actually reach back to the edge of the chair, then yes, but no. My knees are probably like 3 or 4 inches out from the like actual like edge of the chair, because the chair's not deep enough for the distance from my butt to my knees. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but c'est la vie. It is what it is. I got long knees. Scientist stars. And my butt too. I mean, my butt a little thick, let's be honest. I've been ever since I got my gym membership when I moved, like, well, basically almost a year ago now. I've been using the hip thrust machine. So there's a machine that's designed specifically to basically mimic a hip thrusting movement. And there's like a lap belt, like a seat belt that you put over your hips like you would in a car, but it's padded. And you have like this kind of like pad that you like rest your like shoulders on, and then you just lift up your hips. And you can add weight onto the sides of it that are attached to this belt, this padded belt, and so you just start putting on more weight, and then, man, does your butt get sore after that, though. You can get to the point where it hurts to sit down. I've done it a couple times.
Like this would give us more signs, but I think in the long run this is better so we can surround it for faith.
And we also have a lot of strategic.
Because this signs we can just later grab with an actual, research quarter.
Well,
but I want to do the cheeky little thing where we put a little bit of industry into each of them, and then we can finally move on to the next era, because I don't think we're getting. Well, we might get this if we can catch one of the. Oh wow! Look at that! He's like, let me murderize this scout with this entire massive army. I think that scout is pretty much done for. No way to retreat.
That's a bummer.
Indeed.
Perfect excuse to play while laying in your bed. Yep. I don't have any handheld consoles. I just have my phone. So that's a bit of a bummer. But I actually find like playing in bed, like if I'm laying down, I have to hold it in the air, my arms get tired.
Lying down, exactly, I find uncomfortable. Leaning back, maybe, but not lying down where I have to hold it up above me.
Like the head of my bed is against a wall, so I can like sit up but have my legs in bed. That's pretty comfortable. Sometimes I sit up and eat food while I watch movies in bed.
And then when you actually go to bed, you very much regret it?
I don't have problems sleeping no matter what.
No, yeah, but it's like this. Oh no, crumbs everywhere.
Oh no, I'm a very clean eater. I often use chopsticks to eat things just because it's neater, Neat in the sense of cleaner rather than that's pretty neat. Calamark, I'm always talking about my hips because my hips don't lie. I have very skinny hips though. I don't have wide hips, but that makes your butt pop though. Because if you have wide hips, then your butt muscles are actually just spread more evenly across the butt area.
Come on,
That's.
Oh no! Oh dear no! They have way too many people.
Oh gosh. And while we're discussing the finer points of gluteus physiology,
we're getting them kicked.
Yeah, we're getting them kicked. You knew where I was going with this. Oh gosh.
I guess that just means one thing.
Sailing.
We give up on these stars. As close as this one is, we can't seem to catch this. Oh wait, can we? No, because no, they're in the way. We can't catch him because they're in the way.
Dang it. Can we not attack them from... Oh, no, we can't.
No, we can't get through because of this one dude. We could be attacking them from here.
Dang it.
What's our... but we could.
Nothing new, Zomazone.
We could try to murder them.
You lived a year in South Korea? Dope, I'm jealous. I'm watching this Korean, fitness challenge show called Physical 100. And it's a bunch of really buff Korean people. And they're doing, these physical challenges. And nothing gets me more hyped than, one of these shows where it's, Ninja Warrior or whatever. I know, Zomazone. I can't say anything. I can't say anything about the console version, or else I'll say too much.
So since we already started with like the ceremonial plaza,
Mm-hmm. What's our synergy?
I was thinking, well, I guess technically it does it count as a religious district? It's not written there, but like it sounds like it should.
Mm-hmm.
So I was, because it also gives us faith. So I was thinking, should we just lean into it and go like Nazca, so we can stack the influence on the emblematic districts, and then go into is it the Mississippians? Yeah, the Mississippians with the ceremonial mounts for
The
like
mound,
bonus
yeah.
on religious districts, and then just lean into the religious districts all game
I
long.
like it. Let's make it happen.
Also, the headhunter, I guess, will help against a certain potato.
But yeah, chopsticks. So speaking of chopsticks, I lived in China for like 4 months, and they use chopsticks for everything. I don't think they use forks ever, pretty much. And even for things like flipping an egg, like they put an egg on a frying pan, they don't use a spatula to like flip. They use chopsticks, and they slide the chopsticks under the edge, and then just kind of like pull and slide and flip. And while they're like gently grabbing it, so that they don't actually rip the egg apart. They just like, whoosh. It's amazing.
I can't even flip an egg with a spatula.
Well,
or I mean, I managed to flip it, but half the time
after mutilating the egg,
yeah, half the time it like ribs, or the yolk
cracks
bursts
out, yeah.
and
I mean, yeah, it's rough. It's super cool, but I grew up with my dad teaching me how to use chopsticks, because he would go on business trips to like Singapore and Korea, South Korea, and Japan and stuff for when he worked for Hewlett Packard. And so I've been using chopsticks for a long time. So for me, it's just, I don't even think about it. I just do it. But for people that haven't ever like learned how to use chopsticks or aren't very good at chopsticks,
I struggle with it every time.
well, I know this because my wife is one of those people where she doesn't actually use chopsticks the way you're supposed to, or quote unquote the way that most people do. Who knows what supposed to means? But basically, she takes the two sticks and just pushes them together so that they kind of like pincer, and then like picks them up on the backswing. You know what I mean? So like, instead of like picking stuff up like this, well, I'll hold my fingers in front of my shirt so you can see with the contrast. Instead of picking stuff up like that, she crosses them and then uses the like reverse pull to like pinch or something like that. If that makes sense. I don't know if you can see that or if it's too small if you're watching on a phone, but it's her method, and she actually like functions pretty well with chopsticks. And I'm always just looking at her like, how are you doing that? Yeah, I know, right? You're thinking to yourself, I've never seen anybody do this, but it works for her. It's this like reverse, like, grabbing stuff with the like closing of the chopsticks. And yeah, she just picks stuff up like that. But like, let's say you wanted to pick up a grain of rice. She couldn't do it. It's not precise enough. But I can just like grab one grain of rice with the two, chopsticks. Nice lickety split. But so you were studying game development in the third biggest university of the country. Well, South Korea is not a terribly large country, so I'm not sure how impressive that is. It sounds impressive.
I mean, at the same
it's Korea,
time,
so video games.
Yeah, I was about to say, at the same time, though, South Korea is a country with a very strong gaming culture.
Yeah, I honestly have no clue how impressive that is. It sounds very impressive, though. And we have a lot of extractors that we
have
could make.
some bad stability as well.
Is there any reason why we're holding off on building all these extractors?
Because most of them are not like super valuable. Like 2% industry of 70 industry.
But for stability,
that's not even a whole point. But we will probably need something for the stability. The question is, how quick is it? One turn, okay, yes. At one turn it is quicker, but let's get the one that gives us a little bit of industry.
Which one are we doing? The gemstone?
The
Oh,
because that one gives us like from the tile gives us some industry.
nice.
Because also what we really need is money so we can upgrade our old warriors to the new, much better headhunters, like a 26, no 27 with our civic. We actually
Nice.
stand a chance against Potato's armies.
Let's get them. Did you know that with the difference in food between China, Korea, and Japan, they each have their respective chopsticks with different length and space between the point of the chopsticks? You know, I've never consciously thought about that, but my dad, from his many travels when I was a kid, he would bring back chopsticks. So we had various, chopsticks in the house, some fancier like wooden ones with like some like cool art up the side. But then we also had some that were like metal and flat. So they were, bigger at the end and pointed at the end, but is more of like a flat situation instead of a rounded thing. And those were the weirdest ones. You really had to like do your hand grab differently because it was like,
So since we're trying to find the new world, I guess we should grab the lighthouse. Even
I
if
like
it doesn't immediately help us.
I mean, stability.
Yeah, but I don't think we have the industry to build it right now.
Well, they don't roll around on your fingers, which is helpful because having a little bit of like flatness to a chopstick makes it so that it stays in the same spot on your hands, as opposed to like you having to hold it harder so that it doesn't roll in your hand.
I think I'm actually going to get all of them, mostly because they give us a little bit of money from being the luxury extractor, and we really need that money right now.
Yeah. For our armies, because they'll soon be eating gold, not food.
Well, more importantly, it costs like 90 for each upgrade. So we really need that money to upgrade them.
Easier
Because,
to clean. They don't melt when you like are like for Korean barbecue. Like when you're trying to chopstick stuff off of the grill, you can like melt your plastic ones, or burn your wooden chopsticks, or the bamboo ones. I like metal things. I like metal things. That being said, I feel like that'd be a really good gift for me. So if somebody's wondering what to get me for Christmas,
I guess, if somebody draws you as the Secret Santa, I know what to tell them.
yeah, it's a fancy set of chopsticks. I'd totally be down for that.
I want to do that, but we can't. We need the money.
Let it flood. Maybe Poseidon will shine upon us. He won't destroy us in his wrath.
I'm pretty sure the destroying people in his wrath is kind of one of the things he's
It's
known for.
one of his traits.
One of his things. Unlike Zeus, who's busy doing some very different things.
Take care, Thanarios. I don't even think I did birthday gifts this birthday. I don't know. As somebody who, pretty much all my friends here are coworkers.
Oh my god!
I don't really have
why
friends
are there
apart
so
from
many?
my coworkers that I'm not gonna ask my coworkers to give me gifts at a birthday party or something like that. I don't know. Is giving gifts and receiving gifts weird as an adult, or am I just like the type of person that isn't a good gift giver, so then I don't inadvertently I don't actually think about gift giving because I'm not a
I think the answer is pretty much yes to both. Like it's not weird, but also I'm a terrible gift giver, so it's also always weird for me because I'm like, but what do I give this person?
I actually like giving people gifts, but yeah, if you don't enjoy getting gifts, like it's so interesting because it feels much more of like
but
when
it's
you're
also
younger.
like it's very much also like the relationship dynamics get much more complicated.
I agree with that. Like giving and receiving gifts as like coworkers, which are friends, is kind of like, oh, is it like favoritism? Because like in the workplace, then I don't know. Here's the thing. Here's the thing though. Everybody knows who likes who in a workplace. you know, not that you like dislike the other people, but you can tell if people vibe. You know, I think humans are very perceptive. You love giving gifts. I mean, here's the thing, right? I have started doing this for my parents, and I think this is my favorite thing I've ever done for Christmas. Is I give my parents the gift of not like a thing, but I send them a picture every day of the year. And that like knowledge of knowing that I'm thinking about them and I care about them every single day of the entire year is like way more important to them than like me buying my dad like some slippers and whatever, you know, like
Yep.
like they lose their mind, you know. No, they're getting older and they are super sentimental right now, and like they wish that I wasn't living in France because actually they wish they were living in Europe with me is what they really wish, because they used to live in Spain when we were younger because we moved over when I was a kid, right? And they lived there for 6 years, and now they're back in the U.S. and they're kind of like, you know what, we could go for some pastries. Oh, too bad there's no good pastries here.
Well, we could,
Because it's all garbage.
We could go for some bread that isn't supermarket American bread.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't even had it, and
Unless
I've
you're
heard
gonna
about how
spend-
bad it is.
Yeah, unless you're gonna spend like $9 on like Dave's, you know, whole grain loaf or something. It's like pretty processy type bread. And not everybody's gonna make their own bread, you know? Like, it's just not the same as being able to walk down the street and being like, I'll have 2 of your finest baguettes. And then being like, this is the best bread. And then you like
And then next week you go somewhere else and you're like, this bread is even better.
yeah, but then you just like there's nothing better than like breaking open a baguette and just like
Oh, especially
just,
when
like,
it's,
get in there
when
and
it's
you-
actually
just snip it.
when it's fresh and still warm.
Oh, when it's warm, forget about it. Correctly on the outside, soft on the inside. There's literally nothing better.
No, when it's like that, it's like, where's the baguette? I'm sure I brought a baguette home with me.
No, I've always loved baguettes. Even when I was in the U.S., what we would do, so Costco, and I'll get to your question here in a second. The show.
The bread is more important than the question.
So Costco has these breads that they sell that are fully cooked, right? But they don't actually cook them super well, quote unquote. They just kind of cook them and they're cooked. But what you can do, we found out, is you can go to the back and talk to one of the people and be like, hey, come here. Which sounds very Karen-like, but we weren't mad at them. We were just like, hey, can we buy some of your pougliers or whatever?
Of your actual good bread.
Bread that's not cooked. So they have like the uncooked bread. It must be somewhat cooked because it's not soft. It's not dough. But they essentially like ship them. I'd like to speak to the manager of the uncooked bread, please. Yeah, I'll take 2 of your finest uncooked loaves. But yeah, like we buy these uncooked ones and then we take them home, put them in a convection oven, which gets the outside crackly and the inside soft. You use it for like making cookies and stuff.
Yep.
It's like, so anyways, we put it in the oven and then we get crackly good bread that we could put butter or dip in olive oil. Like before we ever moved to Europe, we were already doing the whole olive oil and balsamic and like, you know, that was the life. It was amazing. Take care, Thenarius, sorry. But yeah, no, it's just so good. Yeah, cooked Costco style, not my favorite. I will say, I'll take those muffins any day, though. So French or Italian baking better? I mean, I think French people do really well with the pastries and the breads, like the baguettes. But I will say, and you'll relate with this, they mostly do white bread here in France. There's not very much like cool, like darker
Yes.
breads.
I
They also don't mix
relate
things-
with that so much.
They also don't mix things in to their bread very often here. If they want to mix things in, they'll do like a honey bread or like a slightly different like grain bread. And sometimes they'll put like chocolate in their bread or like maybe a nut.
Do you think we can?
If they're
do
feeling
this?
spicy, they'll put a nut in the bread. What's up?
I think we can do this. Technically, it says they're stronger.
But
like, we
you're kind of
need-
taking the low ground there.
Yeah, I can't take the high ground because they have it. Like this is a
they
cliff.
have all the high ground. Can we bait them into us?
If if we don't act now, we like lose
Oh,
the war
okay, well-
real soon.
Better to kill some of them, I guess.
But the thing is, there's more dudes over here. There's way too many dudes.
There's a lot of dudes. No Cold Stone style bread. Hey, yo, I love a Cold Stone. Cookie, don't you want some? That's the best. That's my favorite. But I always switch out the vanilla ice cream for the sweet cream ice cream because I just think it adds like a more smoother flavor. But anyways, I digress. In the US, in some rustic bakeries that you can find, especially like in Oregon, there's like breads that you can get that they like mix in like olives and stuff and like some more like fun type breads. You don't get that in France.
Fools! You thought you could attack our diplomat, but all you did was tie up your reinforcements so we can murder this one dude.
Retreat while you still have legs.
But if they retreat, that still gives us a little bit of more support to drag it out.
Yeah, honestly. Italian baking, I don't really know too much about since I've only been to Italy once and I went to Venice. And while I was there, I ate a lot of pizza, which was delicious. And I had a lot of good pastries too.
Why do they have so many troops?
Different pastries. They must be poor if they have that many armies. Because we're like barely making any money. Or it could just be the buffs that the AI gets on nation difficulty.
The buffs on nation are minuscule.
Yeah? Okay, well then they're just better than us. But yeah, we do have a Santa hat on our avatar because reasons.
Finally, we won a battle.
Let's go. You like pretzels? Pretzels are good.
Pretzels are good.
You know what I really like?
I was when we had the seminar last Thursday, I was so happy
That it was
about
pretzel bread?
that pretzel bread, because that's another one of those things that's like so hard to find here.
It's not even that complicated either. You just like boil it or something, right? That's how you make it a pretzel
well,
with like baking soda or something.
yeah,
right?
I was about to say you don't just boil it. It needs to be a what's the English word for it?
What's it in German?
Lauge,
Well, that didn't help.
which means like it's the opposite of acid.
Basic. It needs to be in a basic solution.
Which kind of sounds very different in English. It's a very basic solution.
Yeah,
Like you did dissolve a certain type of salt in it that then absorbs into the dough.
Oh, the pretzel salt.
Yeah, and well, not the salt you put on top. Like it's like it is very similar to like the baking soda. Stuff.
Oh,
But
I see
yeah.
what you're. I'm talking about the sprinkled salt on top
but
of the
like
pretzel.
the water you cook it in has this
Right.
this baking soda like salt in it
Mhm.
to add to the flavor of the dough itself.
You're talking about the salt in the like chemical sense.
Yes,
Yeah.
not salt in the cooking sense. It's not sodium chloride salt, but salt
A
in
salt.
the in the chemical sense. Yes.
Yeah, I got you. Before I went into psychology, I did study biochemistry for a year. It was a lot.
Oh no.
Italian pizza or American pizza? Italian pizza, 100%.
Absolutely, not even a question.
Now, there is a case to be made for types of pizza that you couldn't get in Italy in the US, like Hawaiian pizza, because I actually do enjoy pineapple on my pizza. I will also say,
oh god, we're so screwed.
holy cannoli, Batman. That's a lot of dudes. And they have archers and cavalry.
Where did they get all these shortelai?
They pulled them out of the ground like potatoes. I will say I've never tried Chicago style deep dish, but I hear that it's a unique form of pizza, which, an argument could be made for that being important to you. But I think in general Italian pizza is just better. The crust is thinner. They're all pretty much fire grilled, You can get some pretty good pizza in the US though, I will say. I just think in general the pizza I've had in Italy is just just better. And they have access to like way more types of mushrooms. Like in the US, you can get like button mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, portobello, like, you know, various varieties, but they're all like pretty consistent. Like those are the type of mushrooms you can buy in the US. In Italy, there were like weird looking yellow ones, some like shrivelly looking ones, like just amazing different varieties of mushrooms. And that's when I fell in love with mushrooms. So I went to Italy and I was like, they're delicious. So
How does he have all these units?
we're not gonna win this battle.
Like, he still has 7 dudes in his city, and he has like 12 dudes here. Where did this population come from?
I don't know. But what we could try and do is take some high ground and
No, we can't because of all the rivers. If we try to move back, he just slaughters us on the rivers.
mm-hmm.
Like, we have nowhere to go. We just, you know... I mean, I guess what did we expect if it's potato and whiskey? We should have known better than do that crap with, you know, potato and whiskey.
Is this better or worse than facing Curie though? I don't know. I think this
I'm pretty sure both of them would kick our butts.
this is favorable in my eyes.
I'm just gonna, you know, let them die and be done with it.
Boiled in soap. I'm taking notes. Y'all are geniuses. Forming the knot might be the hard part. Yo, I've watched people make pretzels. Are there any Americans out there that have had Auntie Anne's pretzels? They used to make a signature pretzel, which is like a custom pretzel, called the Glazin' Raisin. And it was a pretzel that they made with raisins in it. And it would come with a little cup, like a plastic sealed cup with like glaze in it, like basically like frosting kind of. And you would dip your pretzel in the glaze, and it was this just amazing flavor. Oh my gosh. Oh damn, you're missing out. Chicago style is my favorite style. Deep dish is good, but more of an acquired taste. New York's pizza is just huge. There's no Hawaiian pizza in Italy, no. They would sooner skin their cat. I don't know. That's not. Maybe is that a real saying? Probably not. Cooking stream next time. You know,
Well,
we
we
had a
had
cooking
one at
stream on
Amplified.
Amplified. Yeah. It wasn't us cooking though. To be fair,
So much
I've done
population
cooking
lost.
streams on my personal Twitch channel though. I made a tortilla, which was very fun. A Spanish tortilla, I will say, not Mexican tortillas. Although I do know how to make those too.
Now let me make a terrible reference that you may or may not get. So if you made the tortillas, did you make sure to prepare your guacamole?
My guacamole?
You know that
Guacamole or mole?
you know that what's it called? Uncle
Roger?
Uncle Roger. Yeah, there's one episode of him where he invited another guy and they watch like the Great British Bake Off and they have to make Mexican tortillas and one of them calls like guacamole.
Guacamole.
As she's peeling the freaking avocado.
Oh gosh.
And they're like oh, just pain.
I love Uncle Roger. Theme cooking stream. Every new civ you pick, you have to make a dish from their culture. I mean, that would be the longest stream ever. I don't know if that would work.
Hey, can we please just like we want to surrender?
Apparently, Al saw that Uncle Roger one, where they're watching the British Bake Off.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, that's you know that clip of him where he like throws. I don't know what he's even holding. Throws it on the ground and shouts like emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
That whole watching it, even for me who doesn't know how to make Mexican food, it was that, and I was like, why?
Me and my wife are actually getting real good at making tortillas, though, y'all. Like, it's kind of difficult, but it's really good. No, that was Uncle Roger when he was a slightly different look. I'm pretty sure that was before he like put on the orange shirt.
Yeah, but it was definitely him because it's exactly the same voice.
I mean, I believe you if you're saying it was somebody else, and maybe I've been wrong this whole time, but
yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's the same person because, as I say, it's like exactly the same
care.
voice and same. overdone
Mhm.
comedic accent.
100% it's him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's him, but I don't know. You know, it's hard to say for sure because like out of context, it wasn't like from his channel that I saw the emotional damage thing. It was like,
I mean, I had seen that one go around long before I'd ever seen anything else of him.
yeah.
Let's see if we can surrender again. Please.
Neither of us gains from continued hostilities.
But we're getting a ton of war support.
Yes, because he keeps refusing to surrender, and
How much influence is it taking?
his stability must be tanking. I mean, it's taken plenty of influence, but I guess this gives us time to like let's finish this, and then we start rebuilding an actual army.
Let's do it. Emotional damage is Stephen He. I feel like this is one of those times where I guess it's just,
It's also with the emotional damage, you don't have a lot to go on.
it's a very short clip, yeah, where you don't see his full face. I will say I've experienced this type of thing because being a redhead, everyone thinks that I look like every other redhead that they've ever met. And so, maybe this is just a simple case of us thinking that they look alike when they don't actually look alike. Hard to say. I'm definitely not one to,
Given that battle, it feels like we need like 16 warriors or something like that.
Yeah, that was rough. And since it's quite a small map, I think we're basically gonna fight all of them if we fight any of
I
them.
mean, this is.
Was
You mean like
independent
the
people able to be sucked up yet? Oh, they're in decline.
Yes, this was the whole start of this conflict because all I wanted to do was like send one dude around here to look at that city.
Yeah, but those mountain ranges really.
Yeah, because like these two guys were like constantly standing there.
I love that they're still like at half
and
health.
Given that how small this map is, this was basically a world war.
They don't
over
even,
us wanting to say hi to the neighbors.
but they don't even have a nation either. They still didn't even have a nation.
Yes, no. I'm like, at this point, like, hey, dude,
Money.
he's not gonna have money, but that's gonna. Yes, and then like first thing, hey, dude, why are you at peace with the people who are kicking my butt?
Haven't you played multiple roles in Harry Potter? I'm every single Weasley, even the girls. I'm trying to think of some quotes, but the only quote that I can think of right now is the one from the chess room. Ron, no! Ron! If I move myself to E3, then you go to D4, and you win, Harry. Hey, Carrie. I just, when it's about you, it seems so comical, where you're like, do I really look like Ed Sheeran to you? Does this look like Ed Sheeran? No, it doesn't. But people are like, yeah, you look just like Ed Sheeran. And I'm like, if only I had a photograph of him to show you.
Now suddenly they're like, yeah, White Piece is fine. We were trying to accept you as our liege, and you kept turning us down. And now you're like, let's forgive and forget. I mean, I'm fine with that, but like,
I guess we'll take it.
I guess the swing of the war support changed their mind because they realized, oh man, they can keep sending us begging letters all day long, and our population is getting kind of upset about
all this warmongering that we're doing. Yeah. So how was the game that you were trying out? It was VOG2. What was it? Now I can't remember what it was. Dang it. Something 2. It had a lot of words. Field of Glory, FOG2. Yeah. Had a lot of words. What is that? What is that TikTok sound? That looks like a lot of words. Oh, I forget how it goes. Hard but very enjoyable. It looked like it was very like tactical.
I think I heard of the Field of Glory series. Never played, but yeah, that's one of those. Oh yeah, this is going like into a lot of detail about like flanking and like.
Apparently, it's been out for 7 years or so.
Yeah, Field of Glory 2 is quite old,
And,
but I think they keep.
But yeah, they just came out with the DLC, or it's coming out with the DLC or something like that.
I think that's also one where it's like that game can be like linked with another game where you have like the entire map of the Mediterranean, and then like
It's
when you
historical
actually
battles.
and when you actually start a battle, then it like makes a save, sends that save to Field of Glory, then you can play the battle, and then you can send the results back.
Interesting. Oh, I know what the quote is. It's so this is a TikTok sound, or I don't know, maybe it's Instagram, but who knows? But it's that looks like a lot of words, and it's because like you don't read the text most of the time in video games. What happened? They ransacked us.
That's why he suddenly accepted the white piece, because he burned our stuff to the ground.
Dirty, rotten, backstabbing, whiskey drinking bastard. Can we burn his things down? Is that allowed with our white piece?
Even if it were, we have one dude.
Well, it might take forever, but we'll get him.
Well, like we have one dude, and he's like 16.
What a rude dude,
what
honestly.
do you think the chances of that one dude are?
All right, we've got to build our strength, build our armies. We need to make sure that we're using big stick diplomacy here. Nobody should dare mess with us.
I'm just going to reclaim this region, so that we can maybe reattach the stuff up here. I think that actually might have cancelled like one of the things we were building. Yeah, I think it cancelled this because it detached it.
Oh, dang it.
You're not quite done yet, are you? Oh, come on, 17 out of 18, of course.
Oh, it's always the one. Goodness gracious. So Curie, you coming to Paris in July? You big streamer, you. Which, by the way, if anybody in our community isn't already aware of who Curie is, she's a streamer extraordinaire with blue hair. I love when it rhymes. But yeah, it's gonna be Liddy spaghetti. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be there for work, and if I'm not gonna be there for work, I'm not sure if I want to pay for tickets, because I'm a cheap son of a gun. And I'd rather just like hang out with the people that are coming like after they're done with the thing, you know, like have them come over to the office. Well, it'd be the weekend.
I think I see why he offered white peace. Because apparently he's actually fighting Hand of Blood now. So, hey, why are you at peace with the guy?
It worked out.
It seems to have worked out. Well, sort of. The problem is, like, it kind of disrupts our economy that they're having massive battles in.
Can we tell them to not have battles in our land?
Sadly, no.
Dang it! I want to, but I've heard that prices are very high already. I'll try to book something tonight. The prices for lodging, you mean?
It's always super expensive when there's like conventions.
I don't actually know where the convention center is. It was something Versailles convention center. Do you know where that is? Is it by Versailles?
I would assume so from the name, but I don't know it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Versailles is not super easy to get to from where I live, so that's another kind of like, unless they ask me to come, I may just not go. But like, it'd be a cool opportunity to get to meet some like streamers.
I forgot to move this before attaching it. Damn it!
But if I'm being honest, I think most of the streamers that I watch aren't actually European. They're mostly American, which maybe says something about me. But yeah, I don't.
You know, actually,
I watch British streamers that they're European. Well, they're not in the Union, but it's still
not
part of
anymore.
Europe, right? It's not another continent. It's just considered an island of Europe, right?
Yep. Geographically speaking.
Geographically speaking.
What I guess it's actually time for us to wrap up the
Chat.
stream. Just
We're calling it here.
yes, please end the embarrassment.
I think you did a fantastic job.
I was like, they only
Did
have
it
like
go
the one
poorly?
city. We have the we're close. Already have the warriors and everything. We can go in there, and then we arrived with our army, and it's like they have 3 armies.
While we were busy messing around with the the people that didn't have a region, they were busy building tools of war.
They're still there.
But
I'm pretty sure at this point their loss should have been triggered.
wait, what? Cooking stream win? Well, we got to think about this because there are several streams that were unlocked by the charity donations during Amplified.
Including one I'm very much looking forward to.
The Dance Dance Revolution
no,
one.
That one. I will leave that to people with actual rhythm. No, I'm here for the Endless Dungeon miniature painting.
Oh yeah, mini painting. Yeah. So I've just been so swamped with everything else that I haven't had
Oh yeah.
a lot of brain power since Endless Dungeon has been taking up a lot of my brain power. But we'll definitely plan some of those special streams that you've unlocked and get those planned. No, there aren't endless miniatures, but we were kind of thinking about like maybe doing something like 3D printing or something. There's still things that have to be figured out.
Yeah, no. The miniature, of course, needs to be 3D printed, but we need to pick the right one that can be easily 3D printed. Then the artists may need to do some work on the actual mesh to make it 3D printable. Then it needs to be actually printed, which may or may not go wrong. 3D printing, especially the printers that can do fine detail, are very sensitive sometimes.
Yeah. So
So
we'll work on that. but-
we'll I guess we'll announce a date and time for that once we have a mini.
Cool.
This endless miniatures, yeah. I wish, but no, we'll make one custom and we'll see from there.
Oh, Snuff King. I'm pretty sure Kiri is talking about
Yeah,
the cost of hotels, not
exactly.
of DLC. Because the cost of hotels around convention centers during a popular convention is nuts. So, anyways, thank you all very much for being here. In case you missed the announcement earlier, I am going to be going on vacation next week, and I will not be here, which means no stream on Tuesday, no stream on Wednesday, no stream on Thursday, but
charity stream on Friday.
stream on Friday, TBD, the
Yes,
time.
The exact time will be announced on the tweeters and on our Discord probably.
Yeah. Twitch chat is so fun because like I'll forget what they asked me and they'll just respond with like non-specific answers and I'll be like, what are we talking about again? Like I'm 3 messages ahead already now. But anyways, thank you so much for being an amazing community. We love you. Keep that in mind. And take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic weekend and next week. And I will catch you all. Maybe I might even be tan, y'all. It's going to be 80 degrees Fahrenheit in Florida, and it's going to be sunny and hot.
Do you have that in European?
20 something. Hey Siri, what's
so less than in
85
the
degrees
office.
in Celsius?
It's 29.4 degrees Celsius.
29. Well, it's basically the temperature right now.
Yeah, what was it? Oh, so just like here in the office.
But outside with sun, not inside an office with no sun. So, yeah, 29 degrees is how hot it'll be there. But it's also humid, so I'm going to be sweating a lot.
Yeah, and also, heat doesn't necessarily make you tan. You do need the sun.
Yeah, but maybe I will be a little tanner when I get back. Just as a quick reminder, we do still have our Displate store for Humankind. If you're a Humankind fan, definitely check that out. As well as our merchandise, which has a bunch of cool stuff. Go check it out. We love you. Have a good rest of your night, and we will catch you all very soon. Peace out.